taxpayer dollars and they can just go spend them everywhere any way they want. Well, it's my plan as President of the United States, and I'm telling you, well within the very first month or so of being elected President of the United States, is that I will erect at least a 15-foot border fence. And what I will do is, if I can't get the National Guard, I'll use United States military forces, and I'll station a man every 100 feet if I have to along both sides of the border, and I'll have them armed to the teeth, and I'll make sure nobody gets across that border. We will use whatever method we can, including racial profiling, whatever tool we can use to identify people that have no business being here in this country. And what we're going to do is we're going to pack them up and we're going to ship them across the border. Then the very next thing they're going to get is a telephone call from President John II, and he's going to be telling the leader of that nation, or the nations from which these people come from, that you owe us X amount of dollars for deporting the people that happen to come across our border illegally. And if they refuse in any way, shape, or form to reimburse the people that have had to do their job for them, say a state agency, a police department, what have you, then I'm going to take any money that's destined for foreign aid, and we're going to divert it to those agencies that have to sit there and pay to have illegal immigrants placed back across the border. We're not going to tolerate people not taking care of their own people. We have big enough problems here in the United States alone trying to keep care of our own. And I don't want to hear the argument that we're going to paying $1 extra for a tomato. Okay, fine. I'll pay the extra 50 cents a pound for tomatoes if it manages to save billions of dollars to educate, medicate, and incarcerate people that have no business being here in the first place. Don't let anybody kid you. If anybody's familiar with the book called The Grapes of Wrath, way back during the Dust Bowl, a lot of people came from the Midwest because our nation was experiencing a terrible drought. And there were no jobs for anybody. It was the height of the Depression. There were people here in the United States to pick vegetables. Trust me, as a child, I picked cherries and peaches myself. So I know how it works. I know what you have to do. People will work where there's a job. You don't make jobs available for people to pay them slave wages. We cannot do that anymore. People in America have got to get used to the idea that you get up off your lazy hind ends and you do your own housework. You do your own yard work. Your farmers are going to pay people a decent wage to go out there and pick vegetables. Do whatever they've got to do. Most of it's automated today anyway. So what's going on here, folks, is we've got a system going on where really illegal immigrants are being used as a pool for people to stay in power. And that means Democrats registering people to vote for them to manage to keep them in power so they can keep reins of control in their hands and not in the hands of the people. So, bottom line is, folks, we cannot take on the world's huddled masses anymore. And if in California we were to do just that one thing, if we were to enforce our borders and make sure that we empty our prisons, we empty our schoolrooms, we empty our emergency rooms, then the taxes that we have to pay as Californians will go down. And this will reverberate across the entire nation, because I know for a fact Arizona has the same problem. Sheriff Joe Arpaio is catching all kinds of grief from the Obama administration because he racially profiles individuals that are driving down the road. He pulls them over because they look Hispanic, and he wants to check to see if they've got their papers to be here. 9 times out of 10 they're not supposed to be here, but they're up in arms. And of course we're getting in trouble for it. No, the time has come where we don't get in trouble for enforcing our borders. That's not something we should get in trouble for. The people that need to be getting in trouble are the people that are allowing their people to waltz across our borders like there's no end tomorrow. The other issue, of course, is the anchor baby. We all know about that, and there is a sticky subject. A lot of times what happens is illegal immigrants will come across here and they'll manage to evade capture for 20, 30 years, and the children born to these people have absolutely no idea that they were not born Americans. They have no clue. They've gone to school, they've gotten an education, some are serving in our armed forces. They have absolutely no idea that they weren't American citizens. Well, I tell you, I'm a compassionate person. I say that these people should be allowed to have American citizenship. But their parents don't. They're criminals. That's the idea. Illegal immigrant means illegal. Illegal means criminal. Criminal means you've done something against the law. Call it what it is. Stop calling them, undocumented workers. They're not. They're illegal immigrants. They're criminals. They're running across. They're taking from our everything that we can think of, every agency, from welfare, and then, like I said, prisons and our schools. So it's time that we deal with those folks, and I can tell you, as President of the United States, that's one thing that I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure that our borders are secure. That, matter of fact, of the 18 enumerated powers granted to the President of the United States, one of his jobs is to secure the borders. And that's one thing that I'll do. You won't find II.wmv signing no amnesty bill. There won't be any amnesty. Oh, there'll be a few minutes for them to get out of town. They better get out of town, and they better get out of here quick, because we're going to round them up and we're going to ship them off. And if they come back, it'll come to the point where we'll start dumping them off so far down there, just like a stray animal. We'll just dump them so far down to whatever country they come from, it'll take them forever to get back up here. And then we'll take it out on the nations that happen to be ignoring our wish to remain a sovereign nation. So that's my platform, folks, on illegal immigration. I'm sure you can find out more about what I think about it. I'm sure this is giving you a pretty good idea how I feel about it. I don't go for it. I'm absolutely against amnesty. I will allow for some anchor babies, but they're extreme cases. They're not of a normal situation. And but from here on out, what I'm saying, once we enforce our borders, if a pregnant woman comes across our borders with the express reason to give birth to a child on our country in order to give that child citizenship status, that child will be going back to Mexico or to Colombia or to China or wherever they happen to come from when they're well enough to travel. And I say that's within a week or two. They're all going back home. So that's it for tonight, folks. I encourage you to visit my website at www.johndwmmet.us, and you can read my platform there. You can see where I stand on the issues, and I hope to come back with you within the next day or so and let you know some more about what I have in plan for the United States of America. Thank you. God bless you all, and we'll see you again. Good night.